Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Britt, creator of the Style Shaker. Today I'm trying new clean beauty products. It's a full face of clean beauty. Talking about the future of the channel, and this is the look we're going to. But I always begin with nothing on my face except for a little bit of moisturizer and prep. Let's cut to that. I'm excited. This is one of the new things. This is from KINFIELD. It's a new brand, SPF 35. I have tried their SPF with a tint to it. It was very pink. I wasn't like the biggest fan of it. Hate that I just said like, but I'm doing this so we can all look at the white cast situation. I'm leaving it. So yes, there is a white cast. Oh wow, that's pretty intense. That's just really staying there, huh? In terms of texture, it's a little bit thicker, but it's not heavy feeling yet. Gotta give it a minute. I have not been testing this. I am going to ask you again which product you would like to see a full video review on over here with the scorecard information. So let me know as I go through, and essentially whenever you tell me what product you want to see, it acts as a vote, which makes this viewer's choice yet again. I like it when you all decide, to be honest. This looks so good. It's very hydrating. Just a little white. Definitely gives a dewy sensation finish, not sensation. And I have started a very slow ramp up for retinol, just a little bit. It's an oil-based retinol, so I'm actually really liking how moisturizing this is. Touch test, it's a little bit sticky. No, it's not sticky. It's just you can feel the moisture. There's no tackiness. It actually does not feel heavy. The scent also is not really strong in, you know, the sunscreen sense. So that's that. We're gonna keep giving it a try. A combination of an SPF like this, Cocoa Kind is another option. I love combining this with powder foundation. I haven't talked about powder foundation a lot over here in a hot minute. So this is the Alima Pure. I was using this with other powder foundations. This doesn't mean that it has to be this sunscreen with this powder foundation. Just wanna put it out there. But this is the Alima Pure pressed powder. Big fluffy brush. Press it right in. It's really like a winning combination for my skin right now. I also like it because it's humid out. Sorry if you can hear the leaf blowers. Sorry. I also mentioned this back on Instagram or somewhere where I posted it. You want to use something that is very moisturizing because then the powder is not going to give a drying effect. It sort of works well to mute it a bit. But then this, as you could see, is pretty dewy, the SPF that I applied. So it doesn't make you look like you put Bisquick on your face. You know what I mean? Like you still look like skin is underneath it. You actually can't see a layer of powder. It's a really nice combination, I have to say. I'm probably gonna be sticking with this for a bit. And I do feel like you can use a bunch of different types of powder foundations depending on what works for you. I'm brushing it and not pressing it on the forehead, because I don't want a lot there because they're fine lines and it will just kind of make them look more pronounced. That's just something I learned probably from somebody online, or I made it up in my head. I really don't remember, but it works. And that's it. That's the complexion coverage. Also throughout the day as the humidity hits and sweat and, you know, normal human things happen, it gels together really nicely as well. So skin still looks like skin, except maybe there's a little bit more dew, a little bit of shadow. I haven't used this in a while. This is the Han eyeshadow Solo in shade Taupey Plum. It's one of my like fallback shadows that I'll use if I can't think. You know, when you're just decision fatigue hits and you're like, I'll just go with that guy. A warmer shade just gives a little bit of dimension. To me, this is just everyday makeup, easy everyday makeup, because that's kind of what I lean on or go towards. Or gravitate toward. What, you get it. That's it. That's all she wrote. Most of the time I just take a bronzer and use that, but I thought, why not use an eyeshadow and give them a moment? I always get confused when I talk and put on makeup. I forget what order I'm going in. I don't know why that is, but I found, well, first things, I have the Mob Beauty Cream Foundation. Testing it, that's not going to be a part of this review because obviously I've already done complexion, but I have the Mob Beauty Cake Liner in brown and I am loving it. I loved the black. It's on Britt's Picks. Don't know what Britt's Picks is. Out of the thousands of products that I've tried, it's a one-pager, top 20 favorites right now. So you can check that out. Link is below, but the brown liner is really good. It lasts, it lasts. I tried the Jones Road eyeliner, the best pencil, recently. I guess the last time I was calling that out as something I liked, it was winter. I'm finding it to not stick around. That's just a random bonus aside. And of course we're gonna do the baby wing. This is what we do. I don't have a mirror here. I have to like lean down. Sorry, I'll be right back. It's just so easy. Easy peasy. Let's do the other eye, shall we? Okay. You don't even have to wet it or anything. I honestly, you can just kind of pack it on. You can do it lightly. I use a Sigma angled brush. This is the Line Perfector in the E68. Any soft angled brush I feel would be a good bet here. Can you tell I like it? Because I love it. Something else from FLAVEDO is their Bright Stripe eyeliner. I have this in gold. Here's what I've been doing with it. This is very random. I pop it under the eye so it's not a severe look. A lot of people do this with eyeshadow. I tend to not do this with eyeshadow and blur it out. I know that's a thing. I don't do that because it tends to fall during the day. It just doesn't look right. It draws attention. I've never really liked doing that. So then I found this. I didn't really like it on the top of the lid, so I ended up using it underneath, and it adds a little bit more of an outline, but it's really soft looking. And again, the shade is gold, but it really looks more like a shimmery taupe. It's not glittery at all. I kind of just wanted to bring up, this is the Jones Road Foundation Pencil. I have been, when you have projects and you're looking at how they're gonna grow and evolve, I've mentioned this before over here, I think it's because I've recently had a ton of outreach from PR. It happens quarterly with business goals and stuff, like they get all their budget and then they outreach. And I feel like I've been on a bit of a hamster wheel with the clean beauty products. They're piling up again. This is kind of what happens. I'm very grateful for it. But on the flip side, I've just taken a little bit more time to rest and relax and think things through so I can be intentional about this business. I've also talked to some podcast guests who are in management consulting and stuff like that, and that's had an effect on me as well. By the way, I've started using this as a concealer and I am liking it. First I didn't like it. I really didn't like it, but it's kind of easy to work with these days. And honestly, it's not even a concealer, it's just a brightener. I just use this for spot brightening. That's technically what I use it as. The reason I reached for it again is because I kind of found myself back in that I get really caught up with new things, and then you're gifted and you're like, oh, I want to try it, I want to review it. I'm still going to review the big drops, I think, but I'm going to do it in a different way. The site is relaunching. It's taking a minute, but it's going to relaunch, and I am now officially moving towards green beauty. Yes, yet another term that nobody has regulated or defined clearly. This is going to be about products that are consciously created with the earth in mind. Yes, we're going to talk about sustainability, resources that are used, renewable resourcing, fair trade things like that. It's time for me to focus more on that. I just started feeling the same feelings. Cut myself off. This is the new Milk Makeup Mascara. This is one of those other things that came through. It is a giant silver container and is already clumping on me, but we'll see. A second impression. This looks like it's gonna be messy. So I had this similar feeling. Wow, this is a little messy, but also very strong with volume. And when I was getting these products, the outreach was starting where I would say like, okay, how do I recycle this? What do we do? Does anybody even recycle anymore? What's the answer? Is there a silver bullet? Started looking into different types of podcast guests that can speak to this, because it is very complicated and we are in a really bad projection with plastics. But the thing I noticed, there's a lot of fear that's put out there. People actually, Gen Z has eco-anxiety, which I don't blame them. It's a tough time. There's fear, fine. But just like there was with ingredients and EWG and everything's gonna cause cancer, not to negate the good work that some people are doing. But no one's telling you what you can do. So what are we left to do except make up decisions on our own? And I started saying, right, and then my rule is no net new plastic, and I did the same thing. I thought, okay, I'm gonna go 100% clean, even though clean was non-toxic, but that was still being defined. So anyway, it's a parallel. It's just the second round of this, and it's all focused on the earth. And while I think that there are businesses trying to do the right thing, as a consumer, I can't tell whether people are actually going to wait until they have 5 products and send them back to the brand. Have you done that? Ilia has a program, I think, where you have to hit a number to make it worthwhile, which I understand that. I get it. Like, I understand the logic behind that. But are you doing that? I would really like to know, as a consumer of products, or are you just tossing them? And it's not to shame us, because I've done that too. I try and recycle wherever I can, but that's a flawed system. So it led me to looking into refillable options, But I think on that level, launches come out all the time. The most sustainable thing is to not buy anything. Okay, yeah, got it. Is that gonna happen? Realistically? Say it with me. Probably not. Probably not. With TikTok, maybe buy it. You know, it's the economy. It's not gonna happen here. At least it's not gonna happen anytime soon. Prove me wrong, please. Thank you. This is a very messy mascara. I don't know what's going on here. This is not gonna be a Britt's fix. I can tell you right now. Ooh, there's a lot of clumping. Yeesh. And it's already drying out. It's really new. So in an effort to simplify the situation for us, instead of just sitting here and harping and showing pictures of the ocean with plastic bottles everywhere, I think we need to know what we can do and then also better understand whether or not what's going on out there in instances is greenwashing or not. Not to vilify brands that are trying and putting forth integrity-backed efforts. So all that is to say, we're moving into green beauty, kids. It's happening. This is the FLAVEDO. Let's put this on. I've been using this on the lip more than I have on the cheek because you guys know I'm not a big blush person. And I love the shade Grapefruit. It's just kind of a fun pinky shade, you know what I mean? Great multitasker. I will, for the purposes of this video, put it on my cheeks. So the other thing I thought would be kind of fun is, like I said, I will still look at the newer launches coming through. Those get the eyeballs. Those also have the $1 million marketing budgets. But why not use that knowledge and come at it from the, if you're looking at the Kosas concealer, I found this really great option that is infinitely recyclable packaging. Glass isn't always the answer, but anything with net new plastic, I'm still pissed at. So that's off the table. We're gonna get rid of net new plastic. She says, while she's holding a compact that's made of net new plastic. Can we look at things and go, all right, here's the hot one that everyone's talking about and that all the kiddos are buying on TikTok, but I want to at least show them, and some of them might know it, but even maybe they don't, that if there's a great lip color in a giant plastic container, Axiology, side-by-side comparison, wear test, performance test, go with this one. And if it's not 50,000 times more expensive, right, that's another key consideration. So that kind of a swap is what I'll be doing. So I'm not just dropping the other products. I think I tried doing that before. Well, I hadn't tried as many. But anyway, I think it's a good way to incorporate both because I think there's an appetite to see what I think about the new Say foundation, for example. But then I can also come back to you with the Ma Beauty Cream foundation that is in a very, very consciously created packaging situation. Ultimately, I just feel like if we're thinking that people are gonna take this and there's 30% PCR and we're gonna go recycle it and feel good, not knowing if that's actually ever gonna be recycled, it's like, it's a joke, I think, at this point. And it's like, it's not even a funny one. So instead of sitting here and being salty or fear-mongering, I'm just gonna dig in, I'm gonna start asking questions, and I'm actually gonna try and have a lot of people on the podcast who know from brands that are creating cool things in sustainable packaging to experts who understand the packaging side of stuff. I'm gonna nerd out on it, so that's coming. Rose Ink, cream bronzer, still love it. We'll have to find, look at that, beautiful blending. We'll have to find an alternative because this Rose Ink has some great refillable packaging options, but the likelihood of somebody really using all of those products and going back to refill, don't think is the answer. I'm not mad at it, but the reality of that just doesn't sit right for me. You know what I mean? Something's missing still, which is a shame because I really, really like this bronzer. 9 times out of 10, I can find something that has the same look. There's always an option that's in more sustainable packaging. I thought I couldn't find it for clean beauty, and now clean beauty is everywhere. Clean beauty is beauty. That's kind of happening at this point, even though it's still undefined and unregulated. A lot of brands have woken up to that because of where the dollars are going. So if we can do the same thing with eco-friendly beauty, hello, why not try? It just means more to me now than ever. And I feel like I'm a forever student, a forever freshman. So this is something else I get to learn about and I can share with you in a way that's not gonna make us scared and afraid about what we're using. That's my spiel. Just wanted to let you know what's going on in my brain so you can understand when content starts to shift a little bit over here. This is the Tower 28 one-liner. And by the way, a lot of you have recommended brands that are doing their thing with, can't talk and do this, with eco-friendly options out there. And I love that. Keep sending the suggestions over. I'm always open to them and I always look at your comments. Even if it takes me weeks to respond, I always look at your comments. I've already been using this and I happen to adore it. This is in Work of Art and you can use this all over the place. It's kind of like that brand 1999, so I'm just putting a little bit on my finger here. There's a lighter shade, but I went for this because I wanted it to be a multitasker. Look at that. I think a future video as well is gonna be like a full face of clean beauty with, oh gosh, I can't wait till I do a full face of eco-friendly beauty. A full face of clean beauty applying with my fingers using pencils. Multitaskers, just a face of multitaskers. I think that would be fun and I think that would actually be interesting possibly for you, but you tell me, do you want to see something like that maybe next week or the following? Honestly, I didn't need the Han shadow, I could just use the pencil, which is great because this is a pencil and there's no plastic. Although the Han packaging has shifted into paper packaging and they don't have plastic anymore, I believe, for their solos. So what else do I have to do? What else did I do? I think this is it. This combination, This is good. I'm gonna show you in natural light as well so you can see it. Here is the natural light. We're standing at the window. But it's not sticky. It's hydrated. You can feel the moisturizer. Feel the moisture in the sunscreen, but very doable, very lightweight. Bye. These two are very happy together. Category-wise. Don't get caught up and it has to be these two products. I promise you it doesn't. Just use something that's moisturizing as a sunscreen and then press a very finely milled powder on top. You can find a lot of reviews for powder foundations on this channel. I'll just put more of this stuff on. Links to everything that I used for this everyday kind of easy breezy look are going to be in the description as always. Let me know which one of these products you want me to provide a solo video review on over here. Viewer's choice. And if you've tried anything or you have some eco-friendly picks, definitely spread the word. Suggestions are very, very welcome over here. If you like videos like this, don't forget to hit the like button and I'll see you right back here real soon. Until then, bye.